Usually when we think about our day, we divide it into two very clear chunks. There's the busy time when we are working or studying or just running around.
Right, the active part of the day.
Exactly. And then there's the sleep time. But if you just try to jump straight from answering emails to lying in the dark,
Oh, that never works.
no, your brain doesn't just stop. It keeps spinning. You've been staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything you didn't finish.
Yeah. Your mind needs time to slow down.
It really does. You need a buffer, a decompression chamber between the stress of the outside world and the peace of your bed. And today we're extracting the exact blueprint to build that decompression chamber.
And we are doing that by looking at a really fantastic script from the Mr. English channel.
Yeah, it's a great source.
It focuses on a conversation between two characters, Leo and Chloe. They're basically breaking down their evening routines.
And what's so great about it is the language.
Yes, exactly. What makes this source so powerful is that it uses very clear everyday vocabulary. Words for choices we all make, like what we wear, what we drink, how we prepare for the next morning.
Right, the simple things.
But it shows how those very simple choices can dramatically alter our biology and our psychology.
Everyone listening to this right now has an evening routine. You have one, even if you don't realize it.
Right, even if your routine is just scrolling on your phone, it's still a routine.
Exactly. But we rarely stop to actually analyze the mechanics behind what we're doing. So let's look at how Leo and Chloe build their evening buffer zones, starting with the very first step.
Crossing the threshold and coming home.
Yes. In the source material, Leo finishes work at 5:30 p.m.
And he gets home around 6:00 a.m.
Right. Now, Chloe gets home a little bit later, around 6:30 p.m., but their immediate actions, what they do right when they walk in the door, are nearly identical.
Yeah, the very first thing Leo does is take off his shoes and wash his hands.
Which is just good hygiene,
Absolutely. But then he immediately changes into comfortable clothes. Specifically, he puts on his favorite sweatpants.
Oh, sweatpants are the best.
They really are. And Chloe does the exact same thing. She changes her clothes right away to signal that the workday is officially over.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because changing your clothes is like taking off a uniform.
Yes, that is a perfect way to describe it.
Right. It's a physical reset button for your brain.
What's fascinating here is the biology of that physical reset. Chloe and Leo are purposely creating a sensory boundary.
A sensory boundary. Can you explain that a bit more?
Sure. So throughout the day, your brain relies on environmental signals to know how to behave.
Okay.
If you stay in your stiff work clothes or keep your work shoes on, your brain still feels the physical pressure of the office.
Oh, wow. So your body thinks it's still at work.
Exactly. Your nervous system stays on high alert. But by changing into soft, loose sweatpants, you're sending a direct physical message to your nervous system.
You're telling it to calm down.
Right. You are saying you are safe now. The demands of the day are finished.
You are forcing your body to recognize the shift. I love that. And we see them continue to shape their environment right into dinner, which happens around 7 p.m. for both of them.
Yeah, Chloe loves to cook. She makes warm, healthy meals, things like vegetable soup or pasta.
But the crucial part isn't just the food, it's her environment. She completely avoids screens, no television, no phone.
Nothing to distract her.
Right. Instead, she listens to soft music to make the room feel calm.
She is actively controlling the input her brain receives. Fast-paced television shows keep your heart rate up.
Because they're exciting or stressful.
Exactly. Soft music, on the other hand, actually helps lower your heart rate and your blood pressure.
Now, Leo takes a slightly different approach here. He eats simpler food like chicken, rice, and a salad.
Very healthy, but easy to make.
Yeah, and he eats with his brother, but he usually watches the evening news while he eats.
Which is, an interesting choice.
The news is basically a highlight reel of global stress. I mean, it's full of fast, flashing images and serious information.
It is, and that's generally not great for relaxing.
Not at all.
However, Leo balances that by eating with his brother. Social connection is so important. Just talking about your day with someone you trust is a highly effective way to release emotional tension.
Oh, that makes sense. So he's verbally processing his day.
Right. He is getting those thoughts out of his head, which prevents him from carrying them into bed later.
So once we've successfully crossed into home mode and fueled our bodies with dinner, the next step is actually unwinding.
The relaxation phase.
Yes. And this brings us to a really stark contrast between our two characters. We see active relaxation versus passive relaxation.
This is a great comparison in the script.
At 8:00 p.m., Leo likes to be active. He goes outside for a short walk. He specifically notes that it's dark, but the streetlights are bright, and the cool air helps him digest his food.
A walk is a fantastic transition mechanism.
Yeah, it really is.
The cool air is physically refreshing, and the gentle movement aids digestion. That actually tells the body it's time to settle down.
The walk makes total sense to me. But what he does right after the walk is where I have to push back a little bit.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, Leo goes back inside and plays sports video games, like soccer, for about 45 minutes.
Right. Yes.
Wait a minute. Flashing screens, high-stress competition, trying to score goals right before bed. That sounds like a guaranteed recipe for keeping your brain wide awake.
It absolutely would be if he didn't have a very strict boundary in place.
The boundary.
Yeah. For many people, you're right. Video games create way too much stimulation. But Leo makes this work because he has a hard rule.
Meaning he doesn't break it.
Right. He forces himself to stop gaming by 9:30 p.m. no matter what. He knows his limits.
Okay, so he plays for a bit, but he stops early enough.
Exactly. This is what we call active relaxation. He is engaging his mind, having fun, and burning off any leftover mental energy from the day.
But because he stops at 9:30, his brain still has time to cool down before sleep. So the secret ingredient there isn't the activity itself, it's the boundary.
Precisely.
You can do something exciting as long as you give your brain a runway to land the plane afterward.
That is a great analogy. Yeah. Now contrast Leo's active approach with Chloe's passive relaxation.
Right, she is very different.
After dinner, Chloe sits comfortably on her sofa with a warm cup of herbal tea. The script specifically mentions she chooses chamomile or peppermint.
Because there's no caffeine, the source makes a huge point about this, especially for English learners who might be learning vocabulary around food and drinks.
Yes, caffeine is so important to understand here.
Caffeine is the chemical in coffee and some teas that keeps you awake.
Hey.
It literally blocks the signals in your brain that tell you you're tired.
Exactly. When you are awake, a chemical called adenosine slowly builds up in your brain.
Adenosine.
Yeah. And when enough of it builds up, you feel sleepy. Caffeine sneaks in and blocks that chemical.
So your brain thinks it's not tired at all.
Right. By choosing chamomile tea, Chloe is ensuring she doesn't interrupt her body's natural drive for sleep.
That is so smart.
Plus, the ritual of just holding a warm mug is a psychological grounding technique. It makes you feel safe and cozy.
And while she drinks it, she reads a book. The script says right now she's reading a story about a girl traveling to Japan.
Which sounds very peaceful.
She reads for 30 minutes, noting that it helps her mind slow down.
It's like she's letting her brain gently walk down a staircase, step by step, into a quieter place.
I love that image. Reading forces your brain to focus on one single narrative rather than 100 different anxious thoughts about the day.
Exactly. So Leo is active, Chloe is passive. Both are totally valid routines because both have clear boundaries.
But we can't just relax all evening. At some point, we have to face the reality that tomorrow morning is coming.
Yes, unfortunately, tomorrow always comes. And this is usually the point where most people fail in their evening routine.
Because we get lazy.
Well, we're tired, we're relaxed, and the absolute last thing we want to do is prepare for the next day. We just want to go to sleep.
Oh, I totally relate to that.
But Leo and Chloe understand that how you end tonight dictates how you start tomorrow.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Because the way they prepare is essentially like wrapping a little gift for their morning self.
Wrapping a gift? How do you mean?
Well, at 9:00 p.m., Chloe spends just 10 minutes doing basic chores. She cleans the kitchen, washes the dishes, and wipes the table. She does this because she hates waking up to a messy house. Then she checks the weather forecast on her phone and picks out her shirt and trousers for the next day.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, Chloe is doing something incredibly smart for her cognitive health.
Really? Just by picking out clothes?
Yes. She is actively eliminating morning decision fatigue.
Decision fatigue. For our listeners, that means getting tired from making too many choices, right?
Exactly. Think of your brain's ability to make decisions as a battery. When you wake up, that battery is at 100%.
Okay, full power.
But every single choice you make drains that battery a little bit.
Oh, I see.
If you wake up and immediately have to decide what to wear, figure out if it's going to rain, and navigate around dirty dishes to make breakfast.
You're draining your mental battery before you even step out the front door.
Precisely. You are wasting your best mental energy on the simplest things.
Wow. And Leo does this too. He prepares his bag, he packs his laptop and his notebook.
So he doesn't have to look for them later.
Right. He prepares his lunchbox and puts it in the fridge so he can just grab it and go. He even mentions that he hates looking for socks at 7 a.m.
I think we all hate that.
Searching for matching socks when you are half asleep is just a terrible, frustrating way to start your day.
The source uses the vocabulary word chores here, those small, regular jobs you have to do around the house.
Like doing the dishes or taking out the trash.
Right. By taking just 10 or 15 minutes to do these chores at night, you remove the friction from your morning.
It makes everything easier.
Your morning becomes smooth and automatic. You just wake up and walk down the path you already cleared for yourself the night before.
I love that perspective. You are clearing the path.
Exactly.
So once tomorrow's problems are completely handled, the chores are done, the clothes are laid out, we enter the final stage of the evening.
The wind down.
Yes. This is where personal care, screens, and actual sleep mechanics come into focus.
Let's look at their physical routines. Around 10:00 p.m., Leo takes a warm shower. He uses a simple face wash and brushes his teeth.
Taking a warm shower isn't just about getting clean, though, is it?
No, it's actually a biological sleep trigger.
Oh, because of the temperature drop, right?
Exactly. When you stand in a warm shower, the heat draws your blood away from your core and out towards your skin.
Okay, so you get warm all over.
Right. But when you step out of the shower, all that heat escapes your body, causing your internal core temperature to drop quickly.
And that tells your body something.
Yes. That sudden drop in temperature is a massive biological signal to your brain that it is time to sleep.
That is such a cool biological hack. But despite doing that right, Leo admits he has a terrible habit.
Oh no, what does he do?
When he gets into bed, he checks his phone one last time.
The dreaded phone in bed. Yes, Chloe immediately warns him about this in the script.
She does. She specifically talks about the danger of blue light.
This is a huge topic in sleep science right now.
For you listening, blue light is the specific wavelength of light that shines out of our phones, tablets, and televisions.
And the problem is, to your brain, blue light looks exactly like morning sunshine.
It's completely tricking your brain's internal clock.
It really is. When you stare at your phone in the dark, your brain registers that light and thinks, oh, the sun is coming up, it's morning.
So it wakes you up.
Yes, it immediately stops producing melatonin.
Melatonin is the chemical that makes you feel tired, right?
Exactly. So by looking at your phone, you are fighting your own biology.
You're telling your body to stay awake while you are lying in bed trying to sleep.
It makes no sense when you think about it that way. Chloe suggests a hard boundary here. She says Leo should leave his phone in the kitchen.
That's a serious boundary, leaving it in a completely different room.
Leo actually argues that the kitchen is too far away.
Yeah, he wants it nearby. So they reach a compromise. He decides to leave his phone on a table across the bedroom.
Which is still a good step.
It is, because this way he physically cannot reach out and touch it while he's lying in bed.
He would have to get up.
Right. I have to ask you, the listener, right now, are you falling into the blue light trap?
It is so easy to do.
It really is. Do you bring your phone into bed with you, scrolling through videos in the dark? Or are you disciplined enough to banish it to another room?
Or at least across the bedroom like Leo.
Yeah. It's a brutal habit to break, but the science shows it makes a massive difference.
It is arguably the most important change you can make for your sleep. Now, Chloe's personal care routine is a bit more involved. It functions more like a ritual.
What does she do?
Well, she washes her face, applies moisturizer to keep her skin healthy, and brushes her hair.
Very traditional evening routine stuff.
Yes, but these slow, repetitive physical actions are deeply soothing. It helps her relax. But the most powerful part of her entire evening happens when she gets into bed at 10:30 p.m.
Right. She doesn't just close her eyes. She takes out a journal.
A journal, like a small notebook.
Exactly. And for just 5 minutes, she writes down 3 things she is grateful for that day.
Gratitude journaling.
Yeah. For our English learners, being grateful means actively feeling thankful for the good things that happened.
Chloe explains that this practice helps her let go of the negative parts of the day.
It's like a psychological cleansing.
Think about how many times you have laid in bed replaying a frustrating conversation from work.
Oh, all the time.
Or stressing about a mistake you made. By forcing her brain to focus on 3 positive things, she stops that cycle of anxiety.
It's basically a mental shower.
I love that, a mental shower.
You wouldn't climb into clean sheets with mud all over your arms, so why would you go to sleep with stress and anger covering your mind?
You have to wash it off.
You really do. Finally, we hit the actual sleeping phase. Leo knows he needs exactly 8 hours of sleep.
8 hours is a solid amount.
He says if he gets less, he feels like a zombie the next day, so he aims to be asleep by 11:00 p.m. But to make sure he wakes up, he uses a loud bell alarm.
A loud bell. That sounds harsh.
He admits it's really noisy, but he says it gets the job done. Chloe, however, falls asleep at 10:45 p.m. She wakes up at 6:45 a.m. using an alarm that sounds like birds singing.
This raises an important question. How does the literal sound that wakes you up dictate the mood for your entire day?
It sets the tone, literally.
It does. Think about the physical reaction to Leo's loud bell. A loud, sudden noise in the dark triggers your body's fight or flight survival response.
You are jolted awake in a panic. Your heart is racing, your adrenaline spikes, all before you've even opened your eyes.
Right. You are starting your day in a state of stress just to avoid being a zombie.
That doesn't sound very restful.
Not at all. Now look at Chloe's approach. An alarm that sounds like gentle birds singing allows the brain to slowly transition from deep sleep to a state of being awake.
It's a gradual, peaceful entry into the morning.
Exactly. You aren't shocking your nervous system. By the end of the script, Chloe actually convinces Leo to try the bird alarm.
I'm glad she did.
Because starting your day calm is just as important as ending your day calm.
There is so much practical wisdom layered inside this simple conversation from the Mr. English channel.
There really is.
We've explored the physical transition of coming home, taking off the uniform, the boundaries needed for both active and passive relaxation.
The active gaming versus the passive reading.
Yes, and the genius of doing tomorrow's chores today to save your mental battery. Plus, the absolute necessity of keeping blue light away from your brain before sleep.
The source material wraps up with a really empowering message, too.
What's that?
Well, Chloe tells the audience that the goal isn't to create a flawless, rigid schedule.
You don't have to be perfect.
Exactly. You don't have to drink chamomile tea if you hate the taste. And you don't have to read a book if you'd rather listen to some music. The goal is to find a routine that actually makes you feel happy and relaxed.
Exactly. The magic isn't in the specific tea. It's in the repetition.
Right. And the word Leo focuses on at the end is consistency.
Doing it every day.
Doing similar things at roughly the same time, every night. Your brain and your body crave patterns.
They want to know what's coming next.
When your body recognizes the pattern, shoes off, sweatpants on, tea in hand, it knows what to expect, and it begins to shut down the stress responses automatically.
So what does this all mean? It means your evening routine is not just the end of your day, it is the absolute foundation of your next day.
It really is.
If you want a smooth, productive Tuesday, you have to start building it on Monday night. You are creating that decompression chamber we talked about at the beginning.
A safe space.
You are intentionally designing a safe, reliable path from the noise of your busy life into a place of genuine rest.
And you don't need a massive overhaul to build it. It's just a stack of tiny choices.
Tiny choices. Taking off the uniform.
Putting the phone out of reach.
Spending 10 minutes cleaning the kitchen.
Culling your clothes for tomorrow.
These small, simple actions compound to give you total control over how you rest and how you wake up.
It's very empowering.
At the end of the source script, Leo and Chloe turn to their audience and ask, "What is your evening routine?" They want to know the habits you rely on before you sleep.
It's a great question to ask yourself.
We want to build on that and leave you with a final thought to mull over.
Okay.
If your evening routine is actually the very first step of your morning routine, what is one tiny thing you can change tonight to make your tomorrow morning slightly better?
Just one small thing.
Maybe you finally move that phone charger across the room.
Yeah.
Maybe you pick out your socks tonight so you aren't hunting for them at 7 a.m.
Or maybe try a new alarm sound.
Exactly. Whatever it is, try adding one new positive habit to your evening buffer zone tonight. Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.